We're going to look a little bit at virtual copies very quickly. Virtual copies are a way to have a second copy instance of a file in your Lightroom catalog so you can experiment with a different crop, a different color balance. If you needed to have it a particular aspect ratio for one show or for Instagram, you could do that and still keep your main copy there without taking up any more space on your hard drive and without sort of getting lost organizationally. So I have this catalog right here of a bunch of people with bicycles, and they're all right now basically cropped the same, which is good, right? If I have a big project, it's nice to have sort of similar aspect ratio on all of them, but there might be some that either because I want to put them on social or for some other reason, I would like to try experimenting with a different crop to see if it looks better. So I'm going to take this guy right here. Right now he matches everything else. I don't want to crop this and then have to go back and undo it later. I don't want to crop this and then like forget that it's cropped and export 50 files and have him like stick out like a sore thumb. So I'm going to make a virtual copy. I can do that here in the library tab in grid view, G for grid view. Easiest way is to hit Command apostrophe on the keyboard, right? You can see, boop, now there's two of him. This one says one of two of two, and there is a little dog ear on the corner indicating that this is a virtual copy. If you don't want to do it on the keyboard, you can also do it up here under Photo, Create Virtual Copy, boop. Now I have three of him, right? So now I have one of three, two of three, and three of three. They're all totally identical, and the two virtual copies have these little dog ears. If you want to get rid of a virtual copy, right, super easy. I have it clicked on. I just hit delete on the keyboard here in the library module. It says remove the virtual copy, and I say you got it. Again, not affecting my original file, not deleting anything off my hard drive. It's just this virtual copy of it. Remember, Lightroom is a database, right? So Lightroom, you have a folder with all of your files in it. Whenever I go to edit an image, Lightroom goes, looks at that folder, pulls up that file, instantly looks at the database of what edits I've done to it, and applies them when it shows the file to us. So my original file back there, untouched, unedited, totally fine, instantly has all of my edits put over the top when I go to view it. What this does is essentially make another entry in that database. Right, so I can click on one, it gets one set of edits. I click on another, it gets another set of edits. Doesn't increase the amount of space that is being taken up by my raw folder. Doesn't give me confusingly like two different files with different names. Everything is there, still organized neatly. It's great. I can show you what it's for, right? So I want to crop this, select the image, hit R for crop, takes me to the develop module. Come over here to where my crop tool is, right, it says original aspect ratio and it's padlocked. Unclick that padlock and I can bring it down, bring it up a little bit, hit return to commit. That looks better. If I wanted to make sure that I was cropping, hit R again, cropping to a particular aspect ratio, just come over here where it says aspect, click on that, 4:5, perfect. So if I have a matte that is an 8:10 matte, or a frame that's an 8:10 frame, I now know that this picture will fit in there without me having to like cut it or anything like that. You can also do other edits, right? So if I go back to the library tab or hit G on the keyboard, there's my virtual copy. You can see it's a different crop than the first one. I could also go in here and make it say black and white, and now it's cropped differently and it's black and white. So if you were experimenting with, okay, what do these look like in black and white? What do these look like in color? What do these look like with one crop versus another? Virtual copies are a great way to do that. Once you have a couple of virtual copies, if I want to export, I can export both of them, right? Same as I would two separate files. Hold down Shift, both of them are now selected. I can go here and export. It'll export two different results. If I don't want to have these two things sitting here, if I only want to export one of them, obviously I could just select only one of them. But if I'm doing the whole thing, right, if I want to hit like Command A and do select all, that's not that helpful. If I go down here, here's another instance of an image. You can see it says 4, right? So there are 4 virtual copies in there. But where are they? Right now, if I click on this and hit export, it's just exporting a single file. If I come over here to this little handle, click on that, or you can also hit S on the keyboard for stack or unstack. It will show me now all of the virtual copies that are there. So that's super helpful if you want to sort of hide everything except for the main edit, but still keep those other ones back there. Images can also be added to collections, just like any other file. Let's say, though, that I wanted to have this pink one on top. Right now it's number 3 of 4, and when I hit S to stack it, only this guy on top is showing up, right? Number 1 of 4. If I go back here with them open and control click on that 3 of 4, I can say, well, you can see a bunch of controls here. I can say move to top of stack, move up in stack, move down in stack. So if I move up in the stack, right, it bumps up 1 here. Now it's second, stack on stack, right? Still not showing up. What I want to do, click on it and say move to top of stack, right? And now when I collapse that stack, that image is now on top. So those are virtual copies. They're super helpful when you're going in and trying to experiment with something, trying out a new editing technique. You don't want to lose your original, trying out new cropping, any of that stuff. They will help you out.